Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kal Halayim La Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Barakah HaKodash, which means all praises to Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father. Bahasham means in the name. Yahweh Shai is the name of his only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. Barakah HaKodash means in the Holy Spirit, Spirit of truth, only way we can worship the Father and the Son. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all you brothers who are preaching the gospel in truth and in sincerity, always in charity. It's Brother Mathati from the Great Millstone Camp, the branch on Des Moines. And as you can see on your screen, there's a video uploaded. Well, it was live streamed earlier today by the Apostle Ramlab. You see his page here, GMS Info Doc Channel 12. And the title of the lesson is entitled Be Berean Minded. You know, and he's speaking about going into the precepts, man, and verifying whether those things, you know, that these different people out here speaking, even ourselves, you know, going back a couple weeks back, Apostle Tahar made a statement, you know, out at camp while they were out in the highways and hedges. And he made a statement and said, man, assume, you know, that all these preachers are liars, man. You know, he said, even us, you know, assume that we're all liars, man. You know, because your word should not stand in how's it worded in Jeremiah 17? Matter of fact, I think Paul said it. Hold on. How did he word that? Faith stand in men's wisdom, I think he said, man. Yep. 1 Corinthians 2:5, that your faith should not stand in the wisdom of men, but in the power of the Most High. And we understand the power of the Lord through these precepts, man. Right? Precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. It tells us in the book of 1 Peter, the 4th chapter, if any man should speak, let him speak as the oracles of the Heavenly Father. Right? And this is how we know this is how we know who's truly sent by Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shah, because it tells us here in 1 John 4:1, it says, beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits, whether they're of the Heavenly Father, because many false prophets are gone out into the world, man. So how do you discern between who's a false prophet or not? It's through the precepts. It's going back to verify whether the things that these men are speaking are true. So Apostle Ramlav's lesson was entitled Be Berean Minded, which that's out of the book of Acts, the 17th chapter. And we're going to start here at the 10th verse. It says, and the brethren immediately sent away Paul and Silas by night unto Berea, who coming thither went into the synagogue of the Jews. These were more noble than those in Thessalonica, in that they received the word with all readiness of mind. So here it is. They was, you know, they was ready to receive the word, man. It says readiness of mind with zeal, spirit, eagerness, you know. So they was charged to hear it, man. They was excited, right? But they didn't just take it off face value. They didn't just take it as men's wisdom. Going back to that 1 Corinthians we started with, right? It says, in that they received the word with all readiness of mind and searched the scriptures daily, whether those things were so. And that's the key thing right there, man. Searching the scriptures daily, whether the things are true, according to what these guys are saying, man. Now, the topic that's at hand, you know, is sex on the Sabbath. You know, which according to the Holy Scriptures, right? It tells us, I think it says pollute. I don't think it says defile. Okay, it might say defile then. Let's see, pollute, Sabbath. See if that'll come up. Yep. Yep, perfect. Ezekiel 20:13, it says, but the house of Israel rebelled against me in the wilderness. They walked not in my statutes, and they despised my judgments, which if a man do, he shall even live in them, right? To the best of our ability. It says, in my Sabbaths, they greatly polluted. Then I said, I will pour out my fury upon them in the wilderness to consume them. And it's going to replay itself, right? all over again here in America. But here it is. It says what? And greatly polluted the Lord's Sabbaths, man. So when you go into this word pollute, it's the Hebrew word halal, halal, which says to profane, defile, pollute, man. And one of the definitions, it says what? Right here. To profane oneself, defile oneself, pollute oneself sexually. You see? you you eating some chicken on the Sabbath is not defiling you, man. But you popping your woman on the Sabbath is defiling you. You eating ice cream on the Sabbath is not defiling you. You sleeping on the Sabbath is not defiling you. But you having sex with your woman is defiling you, therefore defiling the Lord's holy day. Verse 16, because they despise my judgments and walk not in my statutes, but polluted my Sabbaths, for their heart went after their idols. And that's exactly what's happening with these people today. It says who God is their belly, right? They that are such serve not our Lord Yahweh Shah, but their own belly, and by good words and fair speeches deceive the hearts of the simple. That's why us here at Great Millstone, Star with all apostles and elders, we mark these guys, man. When these guys say something that's off, right? That's not right according to what the scriptures say, we all over it, man. You see that? So speaks about polluting the Lord's Sabbath, and it goes into sexually. Now, it tells you, it says copulation. Now, this is the act of sex, right? Leviticus 15 and 16. And if any man's seed of copulation, act of lying, right? So it goes into sperm, man. His seed. You see? Seed is going into sperm, semen, right there. You see that? If any man's seed of copulation go out from him, then he shall wash all his flesh in water and be unclean until the even, man. So sex makes you unclean. You are not to make yourself unclean on the Sabbath day. And this is what the Holy Scriptures are telling us. But you got guys that'll tell you otherwise. And it's up to us, going back into Acts 17, to be as the church of Berea. Now, when you look up this word Berea, it lets us know, it says a city in Macedonia, right? So this was in Greece. And it says what? Well watered. So the church of Berea was well watered, right? Now, what does the water represent? It tells us here in the book of St. John 7 and 38. He that believeth on me, as the scripture hath said, out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water, man. Well watered, right? And us trusting in these precepts and not trusting in men is what allows us to stay watered. Now, this is the book of Jeremiah 17 and 4. Nope, it's verse 5. Thus saith Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, cursed. It's the word curse, man. Arar. Arara. Arar. It says to curse. Be cursed. Lay under a curse. Bitterly cursed, man. Right? So cursed be the man that trusteth in man and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departeth from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. You see? So you're laying on every word a man says and not going back to verify whether it's true according to the Holy Scriptures. You're departing from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. And in sense, going back to that Ezekiel, your heart is being put on an idol now, man. You see how important it is to make sure that we go back and verify the things that's said through the Holy Scriptures? Because our trust should be in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, not in men. So these people are going to lead a lot of people to destruction, man. These false groups, these false prophets, right? I think it's one that actually says, they teach my people to profane the Sabbath. I believe it's in Ezekiel. See if we can narrow this down. It's a good one. Ezekiel 22:8, thou hast despised my holy things and hast profaned my Sabbaths. Same word as pollute. Halal. Same word. You see? This is the exact one I'm looking for. This is the book of Ezekiel 22. I'm gonna start at 24. Son of man, say unto her, thou art the land that is not cleansed, nor rained upon in the day of indignation. Now, this is talking about literal, it's talking about our literal land, how the land became cursed. You know, the land wasn't cleansed from all the wickedness and debauchery that was going on back then. And the Lord didn't send the rain upon the land. But this could be applied to us as the land. Right? So here it is. A lot of our people, man, they're not cleansed. I think that's Proverbs, the 30th chapter, speaks about how these people are clean in their own eyes, but yet are they, yep. Proverbs 30:12, there is a generation that are pure in their own eyes, and we're seeing this, man. These guys think they right. They think they righteous, man. In their own eyes. See, they think the Lord is truly dealing with them, man. And yet it's not washed from their filthiness, man. You see? And these people, man, they're making the rest of the people are filthy. Verse 25, there is a back in Ezekiel 22:25, there is a conspiracy of her prophets in the midst thereof, like a roaring lion ravening the prey. They have devoured souls. They have taken the treasure and precious things. They have made her many widows in the midst thereof. Her priests have violated my law and have profaned my holy things. They have put no difference between the holy and profane. Neither have they showed difference between the unclean and the clean, and have hid their eyes from my Sabbaths, and I am profane among them. You see that, man? So the same thing that was taking place back then with these wicked priests, these wicked prophets, causing the people to go astray, they're doing the same things today, man. And we're warning you people. You know, and ultimately, man, these lessons are done for the elect. Because the elect is going to hear these things. They're going to go back and search these things out according to the Church of Berea, and they're going to move in a proper way. And everybody else going to get caught up in the wayside, man. You know what it says? Lying lips. How's that worded? Because these false prophets and false teachers, false priests, man, they're just what's the word? They're just sifting agents, man. You know, to sift out the undesirables, the ones that the Lord don't want. This is this is a good one. Proverbs 12:22. Lying lips are abomination to the Lord, but they that deal truly are his delight. And that's who we hoping to be, man. We hoping to be those ones that deal truly, man, in order to be delighted in the sight of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, so that the Lord can look upon us and be pleased with us, man. Right? Because he can see that we're doing this out of the honesty and uprightness of our heart, and in truth and in sincerity, and in 100% truth, man. Because that's what matters the most, is that it's been done in 100% truth with sincerity. You got guys that's moving in the same doctrine and teaching the same things as us, but they ain't 100%. I mean, they ain't doing it in sincerity, man. You got guys doing it in pretense. But then you got guys who are teaching false doctrine, but they're doing it in sincerity. You see, they truly believe what they're in is right, but yet they're sincerely wrong, man, and they're gonna get judged for that too. So it has to be in the 100% truth and in sincerity, man. But it's in Proverbs, man. It speaks about give heed, naughty. Yep, Proverbs 17:4. A wicked doer giveth heed to false lips. So these people who are wicked, man, and they're not washed from from their uncleanness, they're gonna listen to what these false prophets are saying, man, and they're gonna hold on to it. A wicked doer giveth heed to false lips, and a liar giveth ear to a naughty tongue, man. You see, so these people are wicked and liars, man. And they deserve to be followers of these wicked, profane niggas. And therefore they're going that judgment to come upon them is going to be just. But let's go back. Jeremiah 17:5, thus saith Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, cursed be the man that trusteth in man and maketh flesh his arm. Maketh flesh his arm. Arm represents strength. So you're putting your strength inside a man. But the Lord said we would not trust in man, right? It says that the how is it worded? That's not the one I'm looking for. Psalms 118 and 9, it is better to trust in Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai than to put confidence in princes. Because usually word prince goes back into a leader. But here it says nobles. You know, but these guys that are in high positions, man. It's better to trust in Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai than into those men. Psalms 146 and 3, put not your trust in princes, nor in the Son of Man, in whom there is no help, man. So our trust is in Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai once again. You know, let's go back to Jeremiah. Jeremiah 17:5, thus saith Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, cursed be the man that trusteth in man and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departed from the Lord. For he shall be like the heath in the desert, dry as hell, and shall not see when good cometh. You see that? So this is the opposite of Berea. This is the opposite of being well watered, right? And shall not see when good cometh, but shall inhabit the parched places in the wilderness. Dry regions, man. You see that? But shall inhabit the parched places in the wilderness, in a salt land and not inhabited. Blessed is the man that trusteth in Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, and whose hope Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai is, man. Look at these different precepts. Psalms 34 and 8, oh, taste and see that Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai is good, and you do that through these precepts. Blessed is the man that trusteth in him. See? Let's see what else they got here. Hey, that's Psalms 118. But it says, verse 8, for he shall be as a tree planted by the waters, and that spreadeth out her roots by the river, and shall not see when heat cometh, but her leaf shall be green, and shall not be careful in the year of drought, neither shall cease from yielding fruit. Man, you see that? So those that trust in Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, those that search the scriptures daily, whether those things were so, going back to verify the things that's being said, those are the ones that are well watered, man. Berean minded. You see? And that lines up with Psalms, the first chapter. This Psalms 1 and 1. It says, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. How do you know what the counsel of the ungodly is, man? Now that Ezekiel, the 22nd chapter, says that the priest is not putting a difference between the unclean and the clean. It's not putting a difference between the profane and the holy. But you have certain priests that are doing that, man. This is Ezekiel 44 and 23. And they shall teach my people the difference between the holy and profane, and cause them to discern between the unclean and the clean. So according to Jeremiah, the 3rd chapter, the 15th verse, Jeremiah 23 and verse 5, if I'm not mistaken, right? It's around 4, 5, and 6, around there. Now, the fact, let's just get them. Why not? It's the book of Jeremiah 23 and 4. And I will set up shepherds over them, which shall feed them, and they shall fear no more, nor be dismayed, neither shall they be lacking, saith Yahweh Basham Yahushai. Just wanted to look up this word lacking. All right, just wanted to look that up. That's a good one, Ezekiel 34. Jeremiah 3:15, and I will give you pastors according to my heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding, man. You see? So the Lord has men here on this earth in order to teach us the difference between those things. And it's being done through the Holy Scriptures. You go back, while these men are teaching these things, you go back into the precepts to prove it yourself. Oh, nope, what he said is right. Oh, man, nah, the Scriptures do say, man, you can't have sex on the Sabbath, man. Nah, see, no, yep, what they teaching is wrong. No, okay, I can't follow them no more. No, the Scriptures do say that we would have the name. Oh, the Scriptures do say we would have our language back. Right? So these guys that are teaching otherwise, now you know these guys are not sent by Yahweh Basham Yahushai. You see? As it is written in Malachi the 3rd chapter, we will return and discern between who serveth the Lord and who don't. So now we understand how we discern between the counsel of the ungodly or not, man. Back in Psalms 1:1, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, because we read 1 John 4:1, and it says, try the spirit by the spirit. Well, John 6:63 says what? The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life. So you try what these guys are saying through the holy precepts. This is how you know if they're sent by the Lord or not, man. And the scriptures also says, meddle not with them that are given the change. So here it is. You got a group that was teaching one thing at one point, and all of a sudden they change it up. If you listen closely, moron. No, my nigga. That ain't what you said, dog. That's not what you said. You know? Teaching at one point, no, one man's supposed to have one woman. That's it. Now they teaching Isaiah 4:1 now, man. Meddle not with them that are given the change. And the majority of these groups teach this, man. Because you didn't hear nobody come out. Actually, when ISUPK and IUIC came out and said it, the Al-Azhar, the head of the Sakari group, he came out and seconded, man. He said, technically, there's no law that says against it. So therefore, he's saying it. He's saying that it's okay to have sex on the Sabbath as well. You see, these guys are off, man. Verse 1 again, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, these are the groups, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of Yahweh Basham Yahushai, and in his law doeth he meditate day and night. You see that? To muse, to meditate, to devise. So it's to think upon, man. So you think upon these precepts. Right? Verse 3. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. The ungodly are not so, but are like the chaff which the wind driveth away, man. You see? So the scriptures let us know how to be as the church of Berea. The scriptures let us know how to be well watered. And it's trusting in Yahweh Basham Yahushua. So it's going back into these precepts. It says in Isaiah the 10th chapter, the remnant will no longer stay upon them that smote them, but shall stay upon the Holy One of Israel in truth. What is truth? St. John 17:17. Sanctify them through thy truth. Thy word is truth. So it all goes back into what's written, and to making sure that it is being properly interpreted. Because it tells us in the book of Peter as well that no scripture is of any private interpretation, man. Ephesians 4 says it's one faith, one Lord, one baptism, one Father of all, and God of all, man. Roughly paraphrasing. So there's only one truth, man. Like the scripture says, no lies of the truth. So somebody on this earth has it, and somebody don't. And it's up to each individual to go back into these precepts and search those things out, man. It speaks about it's the glory of a man to search it out. How's that written? Proverbs 25:2, it is the glory of the Most High to conceal a thing, but the honor of kings is to search out a matter, man. You see? So call all Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shah for that, man. And it says, but the honor of kings is to search out a matter, you know? So if we coming back into, our kingly mentality, then we should be searching these things out, searching the scriptures daily, whether these things are so. Going back and to verify, the things that, these different guys are saying to make sure that, is Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shai and the Holy Spirit working within these individuals. And, and if the Lord be with you, man, hey, he's going to let it be known. He's going to let it be manifested, that he's with the men of great millstone, starting with all apostles and elders on down. So, Lord will, I hope this was edifying. Thawadi Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, for giving me the spirit to do this lesson. I'm going to give all praises, honor, glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Barachaha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great millstone. Peace, blessings, and salutations to all you brothers preaching the gospel in truth and sincerity, always in charity. Shalom.